What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope you're ready for this because there is a massive update to the loot in the game. And I think there's some pretty damn positive changes that have been happening. So if you've logged into your game today, you will have seen a message on there saying that there is some big updates going on and you've got Barkley flying around all over the place. And if you sort of click on that, you get straight taken to this page on the forum, and it's called the Great Loot Renaissance, which I think is probably, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit overboard from Small Giant, but you know what? There have been a lot of positive changes recently in the game, so I think I'm going to give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, but I do want to dive through this update through some of the loot that we've had throughout the year because they are listing all of those good things and have a little look at what is to come and what this means for us in the world of Empires and Puzzles. So, you grace with the presence of my ugly mug today. It's good to see you all. So let's have a little look. I'm not sure why they've made this pirate the face of this thing. He's probably like one of the worst heroes in the game, but you know what? He is a pirate and pirates like treasure, right? So I guess it kind of fits with the theme. So it says, greetings from the Helsinki Puzzle Forge, where heroes are made. So I'm always reminded this game is made in Helsinki. I believe that's in Sweden somewhere. I don't know if any of you are actually from there, but you can go down to the head office of Small Giant and knock on their door if they don't stick to what they're saying here. So it says the Funsmiths at Small Giant Games have delivered multiple game improvements this year. I'm not going to argue with that. The goal is to make your Empires and Puzzles experience as exciting as possible. Before they reveal the latest community-driven changes, let's recall what has changed already over the past year. So let's have a quick look at what they've changed. So PvP is faster and more dynamic. Granted, it's been a very, very recent change, and it's been a very, very sort of janky change, in my opinion, in terms of the actual changes from, you know, the regular raids to the raid brawl. That's very, very recent. And the Alliance War rules, we are just going into the second iteration of the new rules. I must say, I feel like the Cloverfield for me was a massive success. I know I have had some comments, people asking for me to do a breakdown on how you should go into the bloody battle. Look, I will put my defense team that I've set for the war up on the screen now so that you guys can have a look at it. But my main advice for this bloody war is going to be, number one is going to be Mega Minion Summoners. They are going to be your friend because they protect themselves. Don't bother with any healers on your defense. Just don't. I mean, Nautica, you kind of could make an argument for because she boosts mana. But anyone who gives skills like Taunt, Defense Up, Team-Wide Protection, you know, they're all going to be pretty good defensive heroes. But mostly, you just want to put in your biggest damage dealers. So you can have a look at my defense team for a little bit of an idea of who I'm using. I've got Medea in the tank. I've got Satori for some protection to give Von Rothbard a chance to go off on the wing. Next to Medea on the left-hand side, I've got Pop Hit. Pop Hit, the gargoyles are good because they give ailment immunity and damage reduction as well. And then on the left-hand side, I've got Daroga for just some massive attack and boosting the attack of the team. So yeah, that's the setup. Pretty straightforward. Don't bring healers, bring your Mega Minions if you got them, and just have a ball because this is a new war type. And I personally think the bloody war is going to be absolutely awesome. If you do want any more information on that, please drop us a question or two in the comments. I'm more than happy to respond to you guys in the comments, as you know. In-game offers, this is the next point. In-game offers are less hungry for attention. I would beg to differ on that one. I think that the in-game offers are still encroaching a bit too much on the game screen. I think it would be a good idea if we could just make it one row of offers and that's the maximum, never encroach into the middle channel, shall we say. And don't bother giving them these exclamation marks that only go away if you tick them. If people want to buy the offers, they'll buy the offers. Let a couple of pop-ups appear on the screen. I know it's common and I know it's like a way that SG make their money, but I don't really think that they've quite got that as far as them being less hungry for our attention because they are still pretty damn hungry mofos. Next one is the Parts of Adventure. Right. Pardon me. So there was a revamp on the Paths of Adventure, but if you remember, we had to kind of fight back because they changed the Paths of Adventure, said that they were giving us much better rewards, and then we said, actually, no, you guys are not giving us better rewards. You're giving us loads of trainer heroes and things that we don't want. And then they came back to us and they changed it, and the next change has been good. So it did take a little bit of time. There was a bit more back and forth than, of course, we would like. We like SG to be more preemptive with what they're doing in the game and to give us things before we have to push back and ask for it. So this is just about thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead, not in terms of how can you bring more money to the table, the money will come, but how can you improve the quality of life for the players? So I kind of don't agree with that, unfortunately. The Paths of Adventure, that yes, they're okay now, but it took a bit of back and forth to get there. And that's my point. So they said they've improved the daily and weekly challenges, easier to complete, and points needed to finish and collect rewards are lowered. So we know that's happened. Friend invites being more rewarding. I've already told you guys I like that. I mean, personally, I don't sort of share I don't know if you get a code or whatever it is, but I haven't done that on the channel. But I do think it's a good way to drive people that want to get a few rewards and things like that through gems to invite some friends to come and play the game. And I do think the progress reset is good so that everyone can take advantage of those rewards. So yeah, tick in the right box, but a very small tick to be fair. The hero leveling. So we have got this new leveling system for heroes. I must say I haven't even used it yet. But from looking at it, it does look like it's much easier where you can use the auto select tool from the matching element and you can just select all heroes if you need to. So that is something that we were missing. I don't really feel like it's a humongous improvement. So yeah, maybe we shouldn't be putting it too much to the forefront. There are some bigger things that you can be doing, but yeah, it's helpful. The museum filtering, helping to collect gems for fully leveled heroes. That was something that was a mess to begin with, but it's now been fixed. So I'd call that more of a fix than like an improvement, if that makes sense. Mystic Visions giving more free stuff for watching ads. I hate freaking watching ads, but the Mystic Visions do give relatively decent rewards. So it's kind of a trade-off. And the other thing with the adverts, maybe this is going to turn into more of a rant than some praise, but I do think there's some good stuff in here, don't get me wrong. But just while we're on the subject of Mystic Vision, the Mystic Vision ads, the ones where you click, you should just be able to click once and have the ad go away. It shouldn't be a case where you have to like play a bit of a game, click the ad, wait for a few seconds. After this is all after your 30 seconds is gone, then click another ad, then it chucks you into the Play Store, then you have to go back into the ad, then you have to close the ad. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I feel like you're stealing my time. Like 30 seconds should be 30 seconds and nothing more. That's all I'm saying. Right. What else do we have? So cooldown reduced, watch more per day, rare and legendary Mystic Visions. Rare and legendary Mystic Visions are an absolute joke at the moment. You never ever, I don't think I've ever seen anybody get something from a legendary Mystic Vision that was actually worth getting. Things you should be putting in there, alpha ethers, legendary ethers. You should be putting in tomes of ascension. You should be putting in tomes of experience. You should be putting in tomes of golden emblems. You should be putting master emblems. That's the kind of rewards you should be getting from a weekly Mystic Vision that you can only watch once, right? For a week. I think that's the cooldown timer on that one. The other one, the in between one, not too worried about that. That's okay. But the legendary one, when it comes around, you should get something special from that. I mean, come on. How much does it cost you to draw a freaking alpha ether, write an A on it, and then give it to somebody? Not that much. Anyways, that's how I feel about the Mystic Visions. I think they can be improved. I mean, it's good that they have more of them, but I think that the actual quality of the advertising in the game can be improved a lot and not making us click through. Anyways, I've spent enough time on that by now. The Welcome to Dragonspire path was optimized and early progression challenges made easier to complete. Problem, again, that was only fixed after most people had completed the early Dragonspire path already. So you waited too long. This is another example of not getting ahead of the curve, not listening to your players from beta, not listening to your players when it's released. this is what happens. You don't get ahead of the curve, and then you have to go back and you have to backtrack. And by the time you get there, everybody's already done it. Right, so that's not the greatest change in the world. It could have been so much better. Troop leveling. This is a massive one. So big tick in the right box. Out of all of these things that you've just mentioned, the only one you really got right, and because it took so bloody long to level the troops, and you only just realized that the amount of food that you needed to level the troops was ridiculous, now you finally changed it, and the troop leveling being faster and cheaper is excellent. Okay, it's partially due to the release of the legendary troops, which, you know, you need to level the other troops to be able to change them into the legendary troops. And I know that we've got the event coming relatively soon with the legendary troops. But, you know, give out a legendary troop to people every now and then. Do something like that. Or like an event that you can complete, which is like a Path of Umber or Mount Umber or whatever the heck the challenge is that you get. That's not too difficult, but you get a legendary troop. Or you get like 5 legendary troop pulls. Like, just be a little bit more generous with the rewards in game, and you'll see people will appreciate that a lot. Anyway, those are just my 2 cents. But I do like the fact that the troop leveling is faster. And then that is pretty much it. So it says, now for the grand announcement of the day. The meticulous loot artisans have tirelessly toiled for many days and nights. No, labor laws. That's, yeah, real funny. Like, I'm laughing my head off. It's just sucky. To completely transform the level, quantity, variety of rewards that players receive from randomized sources. For your regular efforts in core game modes, you'll be rewarded with better loot and lots more of it. Okay, let's see what's happening. So Alliance Wars. Guaranteed alpha and legendary ethers in every war chest you open, with above 80% war participation. Look, I love that. I mean, you get an alpha ether or a legendary ether for opening a war chest. It just makes you want to participate that much more, because some wars are really tough. Sometimes you don't have the time. Sometimes you just don't feel like it. For me, most of the time I do feel like it, because I do, you know, enjoy the wars. That's probably one of my favorite bits. But, you know, 80% war participation is not too hard to achieve. And then you know that you're guaranteed that every chest you open, you're going to get a legendary or an alpha ether. That's fine. You should probably get a legendary and an alpha ether, to be honest, but that's okay. So that is a good improvement. Significant loot improvements across the board for being successful in Alliance Wars. So that is something that we don't really see that much. So when you win a war, you quite often get maybe one person that will get like a legendary ether. I don't know how you guys do it in your Alliance chat, but in our Alliance chat, we sort of share what we got from the Titans and we share what we got from the war, just so that everybody has a bigger picture. But you very rarely get those kind of rewards from the war chest. So I think it would be a big improvement if you were guaranteed some kind of an epic, either ascension material or a alpha ether or a legendary ether for a win in a war. And that was at least one of those things was guaranteed, or maybe an epic troop token or one summon, you know, 100 tower coins or something like that, just something a bit more valuable. And then it says roughly 6 times increase in emblem rewards. Okay, that's good. And roughly 3 times increase in epic ether rewards. Again, the emblem rewards are kind of okay. I mean, I guess for the more early game sort of players, the emblems, regular emblems, will be of more value. I think for more late game players, they have plenty of reset tokens and plenty of emblems hanging around from all of the quests that they've completed. So something like a master emblem, that wouldn't go amiss. Any rate, I do like the Alliance War changes. That's cool. I'm not going to argue with any of that. Well, I am going to argue with some, but that's why we're here, right? The wanted mission chests. Okay, this has been a big bone of contention for a lot of people. They've been opening up the wanted mission chests like regular, like clockwork. They get down to a certain number of gems and they just, you know, plow through it. Unfortunately, you can't do that anymore because they've changed the rewards. So you get guaranteed alpha ethers from the elemental wanted chests. For me, that's a massive plus, because I'm not one of these guys who burns through and farms loads of chests. I just don't really get much enjoyment from planning my life like that. I like to enjoy the game at the same time. 20 master emblems a month on average. That's from your rewards chest. Now it says here, previously, it was almost impossible to get master emblems from a wanted chest. That's a big problem. Like, used to be able to get better rewards. I'm pretty sure that they nerfed the rewards from the wanted chests a while back, but we are now hopefully going to be seeing a trend in the right direction. And because it's difficult for players to measure the rewards from the wanted chests, I feel like that might have been somewhere where they thought they could get away with it. But hopefully there is somebody, some big wig at SG who's now changed his mind on this whole thing, or her mind on this whole thing, and they are starting to see the bigger picture in terms of player satisfaction. So yes, I definitely think we should be getting master emblems from those chests. I think we should be getting more ascension mats. I think we should be getting more alpha ethers from there as well. All of the things that you need to level up the heroes that we don't get as much in game. And there's so many other things that you need, like all over the place, that you need to balance it out. So this is a good thing, although it doesn't specify exactly how much you're going to get, but that will come in a bit later. So Titan wanted chests now have a good chance of containing epic and legendary ethers. That is also a good improvement. Again, we're going to need to see how that beds in. Hopefully it is a case where, you know, at least say if you have an alliance of 30 people, I'd like to see at least 10 people. If you've got 30 people attacking the Titan, at least 10 people maybe in B loot, that would get an alpha or a legendary ether. I think that would be a massive improvement. But again, you know, baby steps, we're getting there. Previously the drop shit. I just read that next bit. Previously the drop chance was zero. You had zero drop chance of a legendary or epic ether from a Titan. Wow, or from a Titan wanted chest. That's terrible. Roughly two times increase in emblem rewards. Hopefully that applies to master emblems as well. Roughly 5 times increase in elemental ascension materials. Yeah, that's good. And then due to the massive increase for value in the chest, they'll be increasing the cooldown and the gem skip figures slightly. So I don't think you should need to increase the cooldown. I think I understand the gem skip figures because people are just going to be, you know, bargaining on how many gems they can spend to be able to get those better rewards. So that's fine, but do you need to reduce the cooldown time? Not so sure. Titan loot. Increase the cooldown time. Titan loot has been increased. So chance for ethers, emblems, and master emblems, and improved rewards at every level. So it's very general, but we will still need to see that. Again, I want to see more rewards coming out of the Titans. Personally, I'm one of those that hits the Titan every single day. I attack in every single war. So we should, if you are anything like that, you should be seeing a noted improvement. So let me know in the comments in the coming days, in the coming weeks, etc. Let me know how this goes. We're going to keep a close eye on this. Keep them honest. That's what I always say. So you may have noticed we said part 1, and that is because the work continues. So it says the changes unveiled today all affect random loot. This is where I'm getting interested. The next batch will be uplifted will include fixed completion rewards where you'll know exactly what's at stake when choosing to enter a battle. That could be massive for the game. That could be huge for the game. If they do that in every regular battle, like let's say, for example, you're on a dragon stage, right? And you need one of those green turtles to level up your epic dragon. You can go through the stages as much as you want. You know, you come across a green turtle, you fight the stage, no green turtle. You go to another one, you try and find a green turtle. It says it's going to give you a green turtle, no green freaking turtle. But if you could get those rewards, and if they pitched up like they said they were going to pitch up, you could make it a little bit more random and you could make them a little bit more rare. But when you see one, you go for it and you get it. Like things like that would be humongous. I mean, I don't know if they could do it exactly like that with the regular stages, and I don't think that's quite where they're going and what they mean. I certainly hope that it is, but that would be massive. If you know exactly what's at stake when you choose to enter a battle, I mean, that's just going to change the quality of life for every single player in the game. So I'm really excited to see what their intentions are with that. I can only sort of speculate and think about what that might be at the moment because I've got no idea, but I hope that it's something to that effect. No more randomized loot for certain challenges. You know, start small, maybe go into the map stages, or maybe start with the quest stages, go into map stages a little bit later on, but we will see. It says you can look forward to improved loot from events and quests. So that's part of it, including the rare quests in a future release. So who knows what that's going to be. For now, though, I do like what they're doing with the game. It says the first glimpse of improvements will appear on the official Empires and Puzzles social media channels. I'm not going to advertise them. You know why? Because you can subscribe to my channel. Just subscribe here and I'll tell you exactly what's going on before it's going on or as it's going on. I'll always kind of try and keep you guys in the loop. No, I'm only kidding. You can go ahead and go to the Empires and Puzzles YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, whatever the heck you want to go on to. I really don't care. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And that is pretty much everything that we've got to say on the updates. So yeah, please do let me know in the comments what you guys think. There's a lot to go over in this video. There's a lot of changes, there's a lot of improvements, there's a lot happening in the game at the moment, and it's good stuff. None of this is sort of targeted pay to win stuff, so it's positive. As long as it stays that way, I'm going to stay this way. I'm going to try and keep it positive. I will keep it real about a lot of the things that they're, you know, hyping themselves up about. That's not really what you've done. I can understand why you want to paint a nice pretty picture, but just, you know, be honest with yourself. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, drop us a like, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share it with your mama, and I'll see you all again in the next video. Bye for now. Peace.